Well, hello everyone, and welcome to another edition of the Daily Devotion that I do here at Woodlawn Christian Church. We are today in Matthew's Gospel. We're in the 5th chapter. We're going to look at verses 13 to 16, and we are doing this devotion for Thursday, February 24th of 2022. But there is a big repository of about 978 videos today on my channel here, and they are put into playlist so that you've got the different books in one playlist. But let's take a look at verses 13 to 16 in chapter 5. Remember, this is part of the Sermon on the Mount. We did the Beatitudes yesterday, and now we're going to deal with salt and light. You are the salt of the earth, but if salt has lost its taste, how can its saltiness be restored? It is no longer good for anything, but is thrown out and trampled underfoot. You are the light of the world. A city built on a hill cannot be hid. No one, after lighting a lamp, puts it under the bushel basket, but on a lampstand, and it gives light to all in the house. In the same way, let your light shine before others, so that they may see your good works and give glory to your Father in heaven. So, I mentioned yesterday that these verses, the salt part of this always troubles me because you read that literally, and salt doesn't lose its saltiness, guys and gals. You can dissolve salt, but when the water evaporates, it's still salt and it's still salty tasting. Salt doesn't lose its saltiness. So what's up with that? Now, this is one of the problems you can trip over when you read things and try to take it overly literally. Here he is saying to them, you are the salt of the earth. You are what adds flavor and distinctiveness to the world. You are that added little component that makes a big difference. You can cook something and it just isn't right without the salt in it. And so the world just isn't right without the salt, the message of Christ. You are his voice in this world. If the salt has lost, and the word there for lost is a Greek word that is the root word for the word moron. It means become foolish. So if you have become foolish, you're going to lose your saltiness. You're not going to be able to add flavor and distinctiveness to this world. You are no good. Your value has been lost. You're no good for anything, but you are thrown out and trampled underfoot. Now it's believed that was a reference to that they would use slabs of salt for cooking on, and at some point in time, through the heat of the fire, the salt would start to erode away, and eventually the sheet of salt, or the plate, if you will, would start to become filled with holes, and wasn't any good, and so they would throw it into the street, and there it would be crushed up and trampled under feet. That's one of the explanations I've heard. But I think we focus on the idea that we are to be adding the flavor of Christ to the world. That is why we are the salt of the world. The light of the world, of course, Christ is the light. He is the light in the darkness, and we are not to be hiding his light, which is to be burning in us. Once we have the Spirit, the light should be burning in us. So we need to let that light shine. We need not to hide it away. If you have faith in Christ, if you're a believer, but you don't share it, you don't show it, what good is that? That's a problem we have today with church. Church attendance is dropping, especially after the whole thing with the pandemic. Can't talk tonight. People are still haven't gotten back into the practice of coming to church and doing church things. And if you're not displaying that you are a part of the church, coming to church on Sunday does demonstrate to the rest of the world. People ask, well, where's such and such? Well, they're at church, of course. That witnesses to them. I don't know if you realize that or don't think about that, but the fact that you are doing that is a witness to something important in your life, important enough that you will donate at least an hour and a half or so, hour and a half of your time on Sunday morning to come to church. That is a testimony to the rest of the community. You don't hide your light. You don't just do everything like everyone else and never profess or proclaim Christ to the world. You're not adding any salt to the world, folks. You're not any good. You're going to be thrown out and trampled. But we let our light shine. We show others through our good works, through being involved in the church, being involved in proselytizing, evangelizing, and thus we give glory to the Father. It's not about our glory. We don't do projects. We don't do things to glorify ourselves and for accolades for ourselves. Better if we do these things without even taking any credit, but we do them to glorify God. And that's our calling, is to glorify God and to bring others to Christ. So that's what I've got for you today. We will pick up tomorrow as we continue to work our way through the Sermon on the Mount. Have a blessed day, and please, please, please be a blessing to someone today. Bye-bye.